So welcome everybody, those that are here live in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group, those that will be here on replay within the community, and those that will find this video recording of Nancy and I, wherever you may find it. Hello, hello, and welcome to the December energy forecast. I'm Roberta Robbins, and I have dear friend Nancy Reed with me, and we've been doing this for, I'm gonna say, what, 5 months now together?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we're gonna just keep rolling with it, and rolling with it, and even in a bigger, beautiful, expansive way for next year. You're not going to hear about that yet, but know something exciting is coming. And you gotta love, right, when you get together with people that the magic just rolls very easily, that you can play with your medicine individually, but it weaves well as we find we're weaving well. And I actually, another member of our community, Athena and I have been doing some workshop series together, and we have learned that we work very well together too. So part of the Cosmic Earth Weavers community is about bringing in individuals that have beautiful wisdom, magic, so many things that they can be sharing out in the world. It's an opportunity for them to drop into the community, to share a bit of that, to be of service. It's also a place where you can come in and practice some new things. So if you're new to divination and you want to do a weekly reading for the community, or you have a little wisdom share or anything like that, it's there, but it's also there to get to know each other without the sales tactic of things a lot, or pressure of something. You get to feel individuals as they come into the community to share some of their whatever it is that they're doing in the world. But also the other big thing part of the community is finding people to collaborate with. Like Nancy and I, we've started since, like I said, at least 5 months of co-doing this together. And we've done some other classes and workshops, Athena and I know there's many of you, Julie and I've gone and done stuff with Julie over at her place, her Coming Home Festival, and plus Sacred Conversations. So no, when I say, give me a little talk about Cosmic Earth Weavers before we get into our forecast, which we're about to do it, and just allowing you guys all to drop in. The time I see everybody here that's dropping in, hello, hello, hello. But take the time, if you are really wanting to start to collaborate and work together with others, and hold your own medicine, like do both, right? This is a great community to come in and start kind of feeling out certain people and then reaching out and seeing what might be possible for you. So Nancy, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I cannot believe it's the end of November. I don't know if I think back to when we did our November forecast, and just how in that call I had like a transformative experience around how I feel about November. Right? And then I was just like, yes, like I really felt that this month, and I have so much gratitude for this month and so much excitement for the month ahead, and also a little bit of how is it even possible? But all things are possible. So
yeah, how every month we say, how did that month just go by so quickly? And it's not stopping. Like, I think we'll be saying this for a while at the start of all of our months. How did that even go even more fast? Because November, was faster than October, faster than September. And it's energetically just going to keep going this way. And we talk a lot, or at least I do, about time. We are untethering, creating new ways to be in rhythms and time. We're being asked to let go of a structure and a system that we have known all of our lives. There is days I'm like, that energy of a day, it's evaporating for me. Like, what is it's Thursday? Like, it's Thursday, right? Like, what is Thursday? What is Friday? Like, it's letting go. And it feels weird. It almost freaks me out a little bit, because I like certain systems and structures and anchoring into that. It's very earthy kind of way. And yet, like I said, we're being asked to go another way. And I think what that way is with time is to go back how it was, possibly in a new frequency, a new way. And so when I say that, I mean the rhythms, the cycles of the seasons, of the wheel of the year, of the moon cycles, of energetics moving around, and how that's helping us. And of course, we do need a calendar or schedule or something to help us ground in, or we just might just float right the frig out of this world. So we still need these things, all right, to kind of to help us anchor, but it's even looking at it very differently, right? Just like this has to be looked at in a different way. What I put on this is different, and medicine and stuff. What do you feel about that, Nancy? And people in the community that are live, like, how are you guys feeling about time?
I totally agree with all of that. And like what came through there was that the energy of the day, and just being like, okay, following the flows. And what was really important was the back to where we were, but in a new frequency. Because if we just go back, then what path are we moving forward? Are we just going to repeat the same patterns? No, that's not what we're here to do in this time. We're here to remember, to recall, to call forth all of that wisdom, and then to play it out, so to say, in a new way, in a different way, hope, with greater alignment, with greater choice. I feel like choice is very important in this conversation, like how we choose to feel this energy, how we choose to feel the time moving and flowing, and what we want to bring forth in the coming year, days, months, years, all of it. Like it is just time. And I did say to a friend the other day, she was worrying about not having done something. I'm like, oh, time is irrelevant. And we both looked at each other and laughed. And we were like, there was a depth to it, and well, in this structure, so just finding our footing and finding our ground. And I love that, like, these conversations help us to do that and choose for ourselves what that feels like.
I think we that going back into an old way, it's not even possible for us to go back, because humanity has changed. We have changed our frequencies, our awareness of the expansion, the earth energies, and everything is different. So it really is going to be in a new way. So we get to create it, though. So Michelle's like, yeah, how did the year go so quickly? We don't know. Next year's going to feel like a month, but so hold on. It's all about being in the present moment. Okay. So let's just ground ourselves in where the heck we are for this moment, this time. So if you're here with us, and you're safe to do so, just closing your eyes, coming into this moment, this place, this space, connecting with your beautiful divine breath, allowing it to fill you up in a bigger, fuller way. So nice deep breath in, and a beautiful exhale. And allow that exhale just to allow your body to drop down and anchor into your seat and where you're standing. A nice deep breath in again, feeling yourself up, expanding your energy out, and a beautiful exhale, allowing your energy just to drop down and drop into yourself, settling more within. Another beautiful breath in together, feeling into this last day of November. Exhaling out as knowing we are going through a shift from one month to the next. And let's breathe in, knowing there is a big, beautiful expansion and a bridge over to our one energy a month of December. Big breath in, feeling that newness coming in for the last month of the year. And a beautiful grounding Exhale out. Finding your own natural rhythm with your breath. Being more here, more present in this moment, receiving whatever you need to receive from our time together. And welcome, 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 welcome. So December's energy. So last day as we are live here, live recording this, we're leaving our 9 energy month and a 7 energy year. And the energy day is what today, Nancy?
Today's a 3.
Today is a 3. I could have looked over here at that, but like, I don't even have that in the top of my brain right now. So we're in a 3 energy day. So expansion, what wants to expand? So it's funny. I said, let's expand and bridge into that new month. So there's an expansion energy as we're leaving this month, right? And letting go. That 9's always about those releasing endings and getting ready for the new, because we'll go into that beautiful 1 energy month for December. And we'll talk about that. We have so many beautiful things happen for December. And I think, every month I'm like, there's just so many astrological things. But, when I was anchoring into what they were, they didn't feel as crazy or as like so many as some of these last few months. I mean, the eclipse season and so many things, not to say there isn't things, but it actually feels, when I have my little notes here of my highlights that I want to make sure I chat with you guys, but it's like, oh, this almost feels like I'm more of a normal energetic astrological flow month, which is nice. We got things moving, going direct and going retrograde. Our favorite planet that goes retrograde will be going retrograde. That would be Mercury. If you're not following that, we'll go retrograde this month. But there's no like anything too major. I mean, beautiful endings. The planets that are going direct for us, they're just helping us to go forward in such a big, beautiful healing of what we've gone through. Like, there's just like, you've been through something. Here, we're going to start moving forward. And so are you. And so there is this reflection energy for sure this month, as we all like to start feeling and thinking and reflecting through the year. But there are also the planets that are going direct are asking you just to think about what you have chosen, what you have been through, who you are now, where you are going, all these things. So there's just, I don't know, it feels like it's going to flow very beautifully. And that's nice with that 1 energy. So Sagittarius season is where we are now. We left our deep, beautiful, dreamy, mysterious depths of whatever we want to call it, our dark nights of the soul, sometimes our Phoenix energy of Scorpio. That's done. I actually quite like that energy, maybe because I work a lot personally with that kind of energy in my life. But we are done Scorpio. We move November 22nd into Sagittarius. And now we're moving into the last 4 zodiac signs of the wheel. And now we're getting to that wisdom crone energy of all of them. And so Sagittarius starts it with its fiery sign and with like wanting to take what you have learned, move it into wisdom, go out and explore and expand what that feels like in a different full way. The symbol is the archer for Sagittarius. So, think about that. Like, what are you going out? What are you venturing and pointing and putting your gaze to for the future, which is beautiful and perfect to be sitting at that archetype, right, for this time of the year. So rightly placed for that zodiac sign. Sagittarius, you heard me say, is a fire sign. So initiation, wanting to get going, Jupiter energy expansion. It is masculine. So there is a drive and a focus to actually move energy. And that's so Sagittarius is going to go right till we hit Capricorn season, which will be the 21st this year of December, at least 21st. I'm just looking at the time. If I actually put the time when that comes in, the sun moves into Capricorn late at night. Yeah. So here, my time, Eastern Standard Time, it's 10:28 p.m. on December 21st is when the sun enters into Capricorn season, which we're moving into like winter solstice, Yule marker. So for some, it'd be the 22nd. So just looking at wherever you guys are from. But then we'll move into our Capricorn. We move into that earth sign, feminine. We're going into that mountain goat, also known as a sea goat, too, because the two wisdoms are the grounding, earthing, but the cosmic waters of the sea goat, blending that, going deeper, the crone wisdom, winter solstice. Yeah, I think I said all the main energetics of that. So we do have the big, beautiful wheel of the year turning, and it's moving into that. And what is happening is we go into these longer nights right now, but then when we hit that winter solstice, we honor and sit in the longest, darkest of nights, right? We pause. And I invite you guys, if you're not going to any winter solstice Yule things, take a moment around that time to just pause into that energy and feel the quietness and the darkness, deepen into the cosmic wisdom of your soul. Listen and be like Lily, put yourself into a dark room, a dark place, or outside where there's no lights and that, if you can, and just be in it. Listen here, feel and breathe in this whole last year. And then a beautiful thing is, because then as the sun comes into Capricorn, it also means the sun is returning. The sun, the days are going to start getting longer. And so what's always beautiful, and I do this with my ceremony with usually my women that come to winter solstice, is then once we sit in that, we move into light and we light a candle to start honoring the light. And I want to say, honor the light. When you do that, think about it's a waking up and honoring your light, because you're going into a new year. You're going into something with deeper wisdom for yourself. So all of this magic, all of this feels for December. Those are high things I just want to start with. And maybe just the themes too. So I already said going out, wisdom, exploring, reflection, looking at how far you have come, knowing that your energy has strengthened and adapted through what you've gone through in the last year, and maybe even longer than, because we have bigger cycles too that are playing out. So that you have strengthened, that you have navigated obstacles, that you have learned how to adapt and move into who you are now. So the theme and energy of that, acknowledging where you have changed direction, where you've pivoted in your life, and you want to start feeling into your potential and starting to integrate, alchemize that for yourself. So does that sound like really, I would say delicious, really awesome? So I'm going to pause there on what I have. So Nancy, what are you feeling? You got the one energy, and what's going on there?
I love so many of the things that you have said so far are things that I have written down as well. And really that taking that time to review, like, where have you been? Where have you grown? What have you learned? What have you let go? What are you celebrating for yourself in this past cycle, this past year? And then from that, what are you choosing to bring forward? And so just making sure that in these darker nights and darker, I even feel darker days. It's been so foggy here the last 3 days that, I just feel like we're in this cocoony kind of nurturing, turning inwards energy. And then with that December 1, it's like, okay, in that space, finding your clarity, finding your focus, being really curious, like asking yourself those questions, asking questions of others, in a kind, gentle way, not why are you doing this, but just being willing to hear other options, other opinions, getting curious, listening to your soul, listening to spirit, and just expanding your perspective and really allowing this one energy of December to be that spark to help you to move forward, to follow that Sagittarius energy of where is it that you are pointing your gaze. And then as we move into the Capricorn, like, okay, now that you know, find your footing. Where is that mountain goat stepping forward? Where are you ready to take that next step as you move forward into the coming year, into the holiday season? Like, you know, there's so much magic in December that there's a reason that we have, you know, winter solstice and all of the other celebrations, right? Because there is this magic within the natural world around us, the frost, the snow, all of the things, the cocooning, right? But being willing to go out and explore at the same time. So I really feel that with the one energy there. And I'm just really excited for all the things that are coming. We start the month off with this really physical energy of the diamonds. We only have a little short time there where we flow through just 4 of them. So this is our cardology cards. But right, so in the first few days, just like really ground into your body, give yourself permission to feel the things, move your body, get out, like and experience over the first few days. It feels really important. And then we're going to move through an entire cycle of the clubs, which is our thoughts and our ideas. So this is a really good time to get in touch with yourself. What are you thinking? How are you communicating? Who are you communicating with? How do you communicate with your own self? How do you communicate with spirit? All of those things. And then as we go through the holiday season, like we are in heart's energy. So it's all about love to end the year, which feels so magical to me. When I first started learning cardology, I was like, oh, all of this makes so much sense. Like, of course, when you're gathering with our friends and our family and our loved ones in this, I think it might actually be the only time of the year that we do run the entire cycle. So of hearts, I might be wrong, but anyway, regardless, it's such a beautiful time on that. And also being like, okay, your own self-love, taking care of yourself in that time. Just because we're doing things with family and friends and stuff, it's okay to have those boundaries. It's okay to be clear in your communication that you were working on the 2 weeks prior, to be able to like, yes, this is what I want to do for myself. This is how I'm honoring myself. No, I don't want to do this and participate in this. And so from that loving energy.
I love that. And you know, it was coming in when you were talking there. It was, you know, it's, of course, you hear us talking about winter solstice and Yule, but it's Christmas season, it's holiday season, it's celebrations for various cultures at different times throughout December. And so there's so many community, family, warmth, love, surprises. Now then there's life and reality, and we know that, and you know that that's not always how it is for everybody, especially when we start getting together with possibly other people's families or our own family and all the things, and just the heaviness and stressors of possibly the season and buying, getting everything done, and all the different Christmas parties. You know, it gets right. And yet we have the opportunity to reset some of that this month, to reset how we go about December, how we reset what we're putting on our plate, what's really important to us of this season. Is it all the shopping? Is it all the, you know, all the things, getting it all done? And if you're like, well, yeah, I really love the decorations and doing this and those gatherings and making the meals and baking the cookies and that's awesome. So recognize it within yourself and go, okay, is there anywhere I'm doing something a little too much that actually at times becomes draining, and I'm missing out on the magic that I love so much about. So it's an opportunity to fine tune our energetics, choose who we want to be around, who we don't want to be around. That's actually a big theme overall, as we're really feeling that getting stronger about people, frequencies, alignments, and relationships, what's actually going, how we're moving forward, how we're healing and nurturing through that. So perfect time to practice and clean that up over the Christmas holidays. So I was thinking that, but also this one energy and all the hearts and, you know, within the cardology and running through that childlike wonder and magic. You remember what it felt like when we were kids? I do. You know, when you think you heard Santa and the reindeer on the roof, or possibly the parents were actually outside ringing bells outside your window, or, you know, things like that, or that you're doing these things for your kids. If, you know, you celebrate classic, traditional, Christmas and all of what that feels like. So there was magic though about it, right? So let the magic come back and fill you up as an adult. Those of you that have kids around you, I find they help. And if you're finding they're not helping because of whatever stresses, that's a reset of how you get to like work with them, help them feel into things and what you're going to receive out of it. And there's almost this lightening up energy too, which comes into that being just childlike and playing more. So what do you think, Nancy, about that one? Like, I don't know, the one this year, it's almost like a reset, even with how we, you know, approach this month.
I feel that.
And so a little plug here. If you need some support and guidance and help, Nancy and I have the perfect thing to help you. We've just been fine tuning, and I just got it up on the website last night. On December 11th, we have it's going to be at least 90 minutes, maybe give yourself a little more than the 90 minutes if you know me and Nancy, workshop called Enchantment, Embracing the Magic of the Season. So we're going to be doing that on the 11th. I will post that. You guys will be seeing it anyhow. But we just felt like it's really good to reset. Like, I know when I started my winter solstice circles and that many moons ago, probably a couple decades now, because I think it was the end of my 20s. It was about bringing together my women friends for them to stop, for them to slow down, for them to feel the essence, the magic, the stillness, because, you know, they're running around, and you may be one of those people running around. There's just so much to do. So take time this month to stop and still yourself in it and breathe and embrace whatever that may feel like. So let's go into moons. So we just had a full moon. Nancy, how was the last full moon? It was literally just 3 days ago, the Gemini full moon. How was that for you? How was the full moon in Gemini for all of you? I want to know.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. For you, I know that I really loved this full moon. I always love the full moons. I love all the moons, you know that. But you know, I was like, just like, obviously it was gorgeous, and we were lucky to see it. Sometimes here on the West Coast, you know, we get so much cloud and rain, you never know. And just before all this fog rolled in, we did have a beautiful opportunity to see it. The kids and I were down at the beach by my parents and just really soaking in and feeling it. And just like that, I was watching them, siblings, right? Gemini, and just enjoying that time with them and just being like, okay. And just it allowed me some space to really get clear on a few things as well with that, the communication piece, and just where, in this instance, communication with my children could be clearer. And so I was grateful for that.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, yes, I love every full moon too. I declared with a picture, this is my love of my life.
Yes, I saw that.
I'm like, this is the love of my life, the full moon, the moon. Even though we had clouds at times, it was like fast moving. So at times it would be then, but the clouds were just like moving quickly over it. So I did get out. I you know, overcut the night coming before it and during it and after. So I got my time in with talking and being with the moon, the full moon. But that Gemini, I don't think she's here on the call. Anne-Marie McKenzie. If anybody knows Anne-Marie, we were just chatting last week about zodiac sign stuff, and me and my Geminis, sorry, Geminis, you all are always around me coming into my life, and I have a lot of family members that are Gemini. So I have a lot of experience with Geminis. And my partner, Richard, even he had married a Gemini. And so he kind of understands my Gemini thing. He's like, yeah, it was like, who was showing up today? And Geminis can feel like that, like twins, right? The higher, lower notes and essence, right? Of things. And so it was great. And, Mercury was there and moving with our communications, but I could really feel like the old going, yep, this is what's moving out. Remember me over here, this part of this twin. Yeah, that energetics of experiences and things that bring up that lower essence of Gemini was like, just a seeing and feeling a really good, like, reflection of what has moved through. And then the higher notes of that twin, right? The one that knows how to anchor and be in there, how to communicate lovingly, compassionately, very cleanly, you can see and know their threads, compared to like the other part can be manipulative and deceptive and dark. Like there's such a tug of war, and you can see that with some people that have a lot of Gemini, and they feel that within their mind too. They're like, oh my gosh, like their mind, right? They're like, I struggle with my thoughts and energies and stuff like that in that way. So I could feel that come up as a note through things, which was great because it felt like there was a movement and a change. And I think a lot of people were feeling that too. There was just something moving differently with this Gemini full moon, helping us to move to a higher aspect of how we think and receive and communicate. At least that's, hopefully, it might have been crunchy for those that were still over on playing with the other twin. We really want those twins to be harmonious. Okay, we don't want them to be completely separated. We do want them to come together. We want ourselves to come in harmony and play in a really wise way. So anybody else, what do you guys feel about Geminis? Do I got any Geminis here on the call? I said a lot of Geminis. I have a lot of people I work with, Geminis and Scorpios. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah. So getting into December full moons and new moons and all those things. Our first one's coming up on the new moon on the December 12th. And so we have Sagittarius helping us get clean and clear. You already heard me talk about Sagittarius. Clean and clear, where you want to go, what are you going to explore, what have you learned, how have you changed and adapted, and where are you going? So it's in the darkness of the new moon, right? That we just want to settle and think and set our intentions and energetics. It's at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. So that means, for those of you who know how to navigate your natal chart, you're going to be going to where 20 degrees of Sagittarius is and seeing what's playing around there within your natal chart, because then you're going to get your other wisdom about how this new moon's working with you and pointing you probably in that direction, where your focus, what's being highlighted for you. So what house, what, and various things there. Do you have your chart there, Nancy? Can you give an example?
I'm just pulling it up now.
Okay, she's going to pull it up. I'm going to go move for it, and then Nancy's going to give an example. So December 12th, that is at 6:32 p.m. Eastern time is when it peaks. So it gets out of that full, what we say, the dark moon. And then there's light that will start to move through there. So 12th, 20 degrees, 6:32 Eastern Standard Time. Did you pull yours up?
Still loading.
Still working. Okay, I'm going to go over to the full moon. So full moon is going to be the Cancer full moon, right? Nurturing, ruled by the moon itself. So a lot of mothering, nurturing energy, heightened intuition, be able to see things more clearly in a loving, nurturing way. It's at 4 degrees of Cancer. So at the beginning, and what I was going to say actually about that 20 degrees of Sagittarius, let me just pop back over there. It's a starting of that last decan. So it's also like deeper wisdom part of that crone part of the decan of that 20 degrees of Sagittarius for the new moon. So there's there's such wisdom. There's a theme of wisdom anchoring, like echoing throughout December. Okay, guys. So yeah, full moon, December 26th, Boxing Day, 7:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in beautiful Cancer, nurturing Cancer. Did you find what you're?
Yes.
So she's going to give you an example here, how you would, what you kind of, some things you're going to look at.
So it's in the 12th house for me. And I don't have any planets or nodes or anything else in it. So then, sorry, what was the degrees for Cancer?
20.
20 as well. Okay.
Yeah. So Nancy's looked at her natal chart. If you guys don't know how to find your natal chart, go to astro-seek.com. That's the one I like to use. That's one I like to tell my students when I'm teaching it to go to. You're going to need, obviously, know your birth date, but also your time of your birth and location. Those will be the information they're going to be asking about to get your chart. My advice, if you're like, I don't really know exact time, what I say to people is, people have a feeling of when it was either early morning, breakfast time, lunchtime, dinner time, evening. So get a point of a time in there and pick and feel what feels right and put that in as close as you can. And if you have no clue, put 12 noon. It'll at least give you some, like a fairly decent one for what we're doing in this. It's always nice to have the full time though. But you're going to put your stuff in and it will give you your free natal chart. And it may seem overwhelming, but have a little look, see if you can figure out. They have lots of info there. And if you want to learn more, you're going to come on the new journey with Nancy and I that we'll tell you about in a few more weeks. We're just going to plug in something else that's come in. So why you want to know your natal chart when it comes to even these full moons, or even like Mercury or eclipses, is it then makes it personal to you. So Nancy looked and saw, I got nothing interfering with any other planets or anything else going in around 20 degrees of Sagittarius in her chart, sitting in her 12th house. So that 12th house and seeing all that, it's going to give her medicine and direction. And 12th house, last house of the zodiac sign, you're going to feeling that expansion, the ending, the new beginning, the wisdom, the full out there cosmic knowing, dreamlike kind of energy that's going to be also working with it being Sagittarius, new moon in 20 degrees. It's like you add in layers, okay?
Can I add something to that?
Julie, Astro with a O hyphen Seek. So ASTRO hyphen SEEK.com. Okay. Yes, what are you going to say?
Oh, sorry. So I just wanted to throw in the numerology for that day while we were here, because it feels even more potent now that we said that. So the numerology for that day is energetically, it's a 4. So that's your foundations, your walls, your structure. And then the sun card for that day, or the cardology card, is the 6 of clubs, which is my card. So as you were describing all of that, I was just like, oh my goodness, I am so super stoked for the 12th. But for all of us, the 6 of clubs is really about that wisdom, that depth, being that vessel that's holding that knowledge and being able to know what's truly in your soul. And then in a kind, loving, compassionate way, sharing it out to the world and holding that space for others. And so that just felt so beautiful with that Sagittarius new moon. And for me, like that extra element of being in the 12th house. So thank you for
yeah, like, so it got even more potent, bringing in the numerology. So 4 energy day, and I had that written down for that day. Where's my stuff? Oh, I didn't even get around to that. So thank you, tell me it's 4 energy day, but it is on my calendar over there. And just knowing that we're going to get really grounded, and we're going to be so sure about that new moon of clarity and wisdom where you're going. So forget about your natal charts. If you don't, you're like, that's too much for me, Roberta, I'm not there yet. That's perfect. That's perfect. You're just hearing some different things, and one day you'd be like, I think I'm ready for that. but just knowing adventure, focus, where you're going, wisdom, new moon, setting those new intention, no action, just getting clean and clear and grounded. A 4 energy day means you're putting your 4, like the mountain goat, putting those anchoring for stability into the ground. So you're just so grounded. You'll be grounded in your choices and knowing, sitting on that new moon of things, right? And this 1 energy month, something fresh and new. It's probably going to feel really fresh and new and inspiring for you, especially Sagittarius is fire, as I've said. So new moon, let's all just celebrate. Put it on your calendars, December 12th. December 12th. Okay. Full moon. What day is that? I didn't write it over on
December 26th.
26. Yes, but what day number?
Oh,
No,
sorry, it's a 9.
it's a 9. So I got a few things. So 9. So we have this big full moon, loving, nurturing Cancer sign, right? The crab is the archetype for, is that my archetype of the Cancer sign? So, and the crab, right, can move freely in all these crazy ass directions very easily. So you get to have flow and flexibility and expansion, and to know with that intuitive moon and full moon what you might want, and that you're manifesting your experience, you're going out. So there might be a lot of energy of just moving and experiencing and being happy and celebrating within that full moon too. Knowing with the 9 energy day, it's almost like recognizing, I think, it's probably Amazon. Did you guys hear the bell? Okay. And the dog's moving. Oakley, is anybody here? If they ding again, I may have to go. So not go, I'll just have to go chill. Nancy can take over for a moment. But that ending for the new beginning, like you're going to almost see the ending of what it was and almost celebrate it too. What do you think, Nancy, about that 9 into that full moon day?
It reminds me of what Jessica, who's part of this community, always says about the 9, which really helped me to grasp it. It's like you're holding on so tightly to things, but what you really want is right here. You have to let go. Don't hold so tightly so that you can grab. I think she usually uses a red balloon as the example, but like you're holding all these things, but what you really want is just within your grasp. But let something go so that you can step into what it is that you truly want, reach for that. So I really love that for that today. And it's also in the cardology, it's a 5 of hearts. And so with that, it's like the change is like the 5 is like this evolution and change moving forward. So it's like, okay, when we're in that Cancer full moon and we're loving and we're nurturing, it's like, maybe it's looking at a relationship differently with new eyes and a new perspective of love coming from really in your heart. So maybe you've been really in your head about something, and this is a great opportunity to approach it with that big loving 5 energy, knowing that the 5 in your body is here. It's in the center. It is your heart, and it connects to all of the other numbers. Because if you look at it on a grid, I'm trying to draw it here for you, but 5 is right in the center. So with this full moon Cancer energy, just expanding out love wherever you go, and remembering to also give that love back to yourself. So while Roberta's just there, I just want to talk a little bit. I'm sure she's going to talk about the solstice. I'm just going to talk about the numerology energy for that right now. That's also a 4 and a 10 of hearts. So once again, the 4, just like we had back on the 12th, that grounding, that solid foundation, that true inner knowing amplifies with the 10 of hearts. So the 10 of hearts being like all of the possibilities of love around you and that returning of the light. So just like, what a beautiful day to turn inwards, to remember who you are and what it is that you are doing out in the world, and looking and feeling all of those opportunities to expand where you get to give and receive love on that day.
I have returned.
Amazing.
It
Just
wasn't
like
an
the
Amazon.
light.
It wasn't an Amazon box. It was somebody looking for something that my friend was supposed to leave for them to pick up. And I'm like, so I'm back. You're doing numerology. Were you talking about high notes of something you're noticing? What was that about?
Oh, that was about summer solstice. So I talked about look, I'm already jumping to summer. Winter solstice.
Let's stay in winter. So
I just talked about the the numerology energetics of the full moon, and then I was like, well, let's just jump on over to winter solstice. Well, we're at it because I was really loving that energy there too.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels, I'm gonna just keep saying that. It just feels really good. So let me just talk about a bit of these other planets that are going direct and one that's going to go Mercury. It's going to go retrograde, hence Mercury. So I like when our planet starts going direct because then we'll notice a shift. But sometimes when they start going direct, there is a little bit of a void energy for us to pause as it starts to feel its essence, meaning the planet itself is not actually turning a different direction. It's just they start moving forward on that zodiac sign that they're in and forward on what the decans are again, instead of going backwards on them. So we have Neptune going direct on December 6th. This is going to be a big shift for us because Neptune's been retrograde for a little while. We're going to possibly those first few days there around the 6th to the 8th or so feel a little more dreamy, maybe a little like off planet, feeling like we're not really here. So if you're feeling that, just know it's the energetics of Neptune. Neptune's out there dreaming land. And so you may have to just anchor yourself, but also just allow yourself to feel what's coming in and dream like and what that energy is. But knowing that if you need to really anchor yourself in, you just may have to put more energy into it to show up for certain things. And it also is trusting in yourself. It's going to help us as it moves forward, trusting in ourselves more, anchoring into that, who we are. Coming in this feeling of also our higher self, our godlike self, our source, universal oneness self. There'll be this energy of moving forward and us feeling it and knowing it more. And that's at 24 degrees of Pisces. Anybody that needs to know that. We have Chiron on that full moon of Cancer on the 26th, that wounded warrior, wounded healer, known as Chiron, going direct at 15 degrees of Aries, which if you're looking at your chart, you know your chart, and I already know where some of this is in my chart. That's literally the position where my Chiron is. So up in Aries around that degree. So if you have anything around there yourself, and my moon is in there, I know I got a lot. So if you have a lot of things that show up when there's big shifts and turning points and a fresh start or something, you'll feel that more personally. So this going direct is just going to help us look at how far we've come with healing things, be more like wise and anchored into our emotions, like honoring our emotions, those wounds and that, but that we have traveled through and we've healed something, we've gone through something, and there's now this movement forward for us. Yeah, I have little notes here of who you are and who you are not is going to get very clear by the end of this month with so many things. Like I said, this astrology this month and that one energy numerology and the various things, there's like, we're just stepping more firmly embodied into ourselves. So Chiron direct full moon on the full moon, December 26th at that 15 degrees of Aries. And then Jupiter is going direct on December 30th at 5 degrees of Taurus. Now, 5 degrees, we've seen 5 degrees of Taurus a lot in this past while with all the eclipse energy season. We keep on hitting that 5 degrees. And so with Jupiter is this beautiful, big planet, abundance, but it is also about where you overdo something. So there will be this responsibility, accountability, these things, which is interesting because it's right at the end of the year where we start January 1st thinking, what do I need to balance a little bit more? Maybe what's too much sugar I've been taking in, or too many of these things, or I do need to move my body a little bit more, or I need to get out in fresh air more. So Jupiter going direct is going to help us going, this is where you maybe have overdone it, or when you go to choose something, it'll be more clean and clear for you to choose a healthier choice for yourself, which is really nice. And that 5 degrees of being in Taurus, it's noticeable. It's in the here and now. You like the physical body, your choices in your life, your routines. So you're going to really feel what that's about. And so taking responsibility where you haven't been. So there'll be a shift, just that you're going to step in more, and that's going to help you. You're going to step in more to make those healthy choices of what you need with who you are now, where you're going, and a fresh new year. Like, it's just like this, just these planets are just supporting us so much this year. So Mercury is going retrograde December 12th, which is that new moon, right? Did I get that date right? New moon, keeping it all in there. On the new moon, Mercury's going retrograde. So that is the reflection time, travels, communication, technology, all those things come up. Watching what you're signing, committing to, slowing it down, thinking about how your words are, how you're communicating, maybe pausing on certain things to make sure it's the right feel and time, and that you feel really good and aligned to make those choices. And then I believe, I didn't write it down, but I think it's January like 2nd where it goes direct. I didn't look ahead in my other calendar. I think it's January 2nd. Do you have your... I don't have my 2024 calendar with me. So it'll start going direct again at the start of January, wherever that date is. She's looking it up. So just remembering that about Mercury, don't curse it too much, and also just let go a little bit. So it starts going retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and it will travel all the way back to 22 degrees of Sagittarius for those that want to know that, and want to know that it will be entering into that Sagittarius part on December 22nd. Did you find the date?
It says the 1st here.
Okay, first. So first, second, depending on the time it goes direct.
Exactly.
Not for you guys. Yeah, that's when I have some other transits, but honestly, I don't want to get into that, other than we know that Venus, lovely Venus, is going from Scorpio. Hello. On December 4th. Hello, Venus and Scorpio. So that, love life and beauty and pleasure in Scorpio, feminine energy, deep, wild. And then it's in this Scorpio season, going through it with, it's got sex and sexuality and mystery. So some deep spiciness in your love life, as of December 4th. If we were to, maybe we start doing a love life kind of forecast too, but know that it's in there till it's moving out of Scorpio December 29th, and then it will go into the Sagittarius, which is new adventures. So those that's a good one, the Venus, to know about with life and energy. Alrighty. Vula, your Chiron's at 15 degrees Aries too. Yeah. Listen to me. Yeah. So look at that. How, what's transpired since it's been in a retrograde. I know that you're just moving. It's really going to be potent as that Chiron, it starts moving forward at that 15 degrees and where your Chiron is. Like, I'm interested to see what that shift is, even for myself with certain points being there. So astrologically, numerology, all the things. Do we have anything else we got to tie in there?
We do. We have, so one more date that we for sure can't not talk about is the 31st. So New Year's Eve in cardology, that is the Joker. And I love the Joker. Even as a kid playing cards, like, it was always to me such a fun card, and that totally represents the energy. It's like that infinite possibilities, playful, expansion, humorous, doesn't take everything so seriously, knows what they want and how to have fun in getting what they want. So on this day, this is an amazing day to dream and to dream big. Like, it's partnered with that 5 energy that we were talking about before, like that expansion. Your heart, the 5 is your heart. So dream from your heart, knowing that you are connected to all other numbers, all other feelings, all parts of yourself. Allow that 5 to amplify your dreams. And if you can get outside and wish upon a star that day, blow out a candle, do whatever it is. We find every opportunity to make wishes in our house. We always have. We joke, we create our own, but the intention behind it, right, is just really voicing out loud to the universe what it is that you want to be big and beautiful in your life in 2024, and to allow yourself that space to have that, and to know all of that wisdom we've gained in December and throughout this year, that it is here for you. And that day, just let those fireworks go. And I'm super sad to hear them. So one is
Great, you paused, you did a glitch.
Sorry.
For what?
For what? Sorry. I have a few oil blends for you for the month of December. One is our laughter, joy, and celebration. I will type these up on a graphic for you guys so we can share them, so don't worry. But so to harness the energy, the magic, the wonderment of this season, we are going to use Litsea, lime, green mandarin, wild orange, and cassia. All of these oils just really help to amplify, to illuminate, to find that magic and that wonder. So I'm going to make a roller bottle for this for me and for my family. And then I also have Return of the Light. So this would be a really great blend to maybe diffuse on winter solstice. This is going to have lemon, bergamot, and Siberian fir. Another option is just Melissa. Melissa is the oil of light. It's a beautiful oil to use whenever you're feeling like you need to find that light again. And really celebrating the light within your life at all times. And then just one more, that because it's the snuggly, cozy, I call this one our Snuggle Buddies blend. But so this is cinnamon, Douglas fir, and frankincense. So just really creating that warmth and grounded energy and helping you connect with your wisdom. So those are some of the blends that I have for this month. And yeah, I'm just really excited for our call on the 11th. And it, like, all the things that we're going to be sharing there. I'm excited to see what you guys create and share in Cosmic Earth Weavers this month, with the readings on Mondays, and just all of the things. And to say thank you to November and for all its blessings, and to honor the rest of this day and not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yes. So it is November in this moment, the last day. So anchor into that. I always like to anchor when it's the last day and I'm moving into it's like, I always do this, like, thank you. Thank you for this month. Thank you for everything that came into it, and just like sit and be with it for a bit. And then when moving into that new month, it's like, hello, what possibilities? Like, have a conversation with the energetics, right? And there is this bridge energy. I think I said that with some other things throughout this. And this is a bridge today from that 9 to 1 energy of the months, right? And like I said, there's just so much smoothness and possibilities and celebrations. Now we got wishing on a star. We got that childlike wonder I was talking about, that return of the magic within us in our lives, that we get to reset it this month in a fresh new way. Like, celebrate that in. And with the One Energy month, this is a new tarot deck, the Magician. We have what we need. We get to choose our tools and what we want to bring and weave together as we move forward. And those planetary, the numerology, everything is supporting this so much. There is celebrations, like a 3 of Cups energy. There's so much celebrating. Not only like these planets that are going direct and just their support and the aha, who I am and who I am not, and the emotional mastery, the healing through Chiron, Neptune, helping us be more expansive, knowing ourselves and our source self, our God self, and being oneness within that, trusting yourself more, right? And the Jupiter just like honoring that you're taking responsibility and very clearly seeing what you want to. So there's a celebration even with that, even with our Christmas, even with winter solstice, like celebrate. I also pulled out here, we are moving into those, like I said, those last 4 zodiac signs. We're going into that wisdom crone medicine out through the rest of this zodiac season until spring equinox is when we'll shift there. And we're really getting into honoring, especially as we move into Capricorn season, because I really feel like at winter solstice, Capricorn, that grounding, earthing mother, we're moving into that wisdom. And this is the High Priestess card, that higher wisdom. And even with Capricorn, we know it as mountain goat, but it is also the sea goat. So there's this grounded wisdom within the earthliness of our lives and who we are, and of the cosmos, of the seas, of the wisdoms pull in with that sea goat. And so the High Priestess really beautifully is holding the portal and the doorway of those two things, right? And then the moon really seems really important. That's always important. Like I said, it's love of my life. But we get so much beautiful support with the moon, like almost like pure essence of what new moons and full moons, top notes, energies are, right? With the newness of Sagittarius, the new moon, and that Cancer full moon, everything else that's going on along with them. So the moon card here, and then I just felt like, we're finishing out in the world card here, ending this year in a big, beautiful way. Nancy talked about the Joker energy on that 31st, the 5 energy, the expansion, the freedom, the possibilities, moving from that heart space and out. But you get to just like the freshness of what you want. It's a beautiful gateway and a portal. So thank you, everybody that has been here live with us. I am so looking forward. Deborah, I see you're looking forward to 2024. So am I. It's going to be an 8 energy year. I'm in the 8 energy year too, which is super exciting. Nancy was already pointing out that on my birthday on January 8th, which then my day is an 8 day. It is also 8 day, just like 8's all around. I love 8 energy. So there's just like, I'm ready, but I don't want to rush December. Let's not rush December because we already know time is going so quickly. So let's anchor and breathe into every moment, every day, as much as we can, take in all of it. And we look forward to seeing you guys in January. Come and join us if you want on December 11th. I'll be posting about that today. So will Nancy about the enchantment, embracing the magic of the season, that workshop we're going to do on that evening. And always let us know how you're doing. We want to know how your December is going for you. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you, community. Thank you, all the replay people. And we'll see you guys when we see you. Bye for now.